Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Elden Ring running on the i5-1135G7. Now the game is currently running at 720p with the lowest possible settings because this was really the only way the game would function, and it's really struggling here. Now I have been messing with the game all day pretty much because apparently the game has very severe and blatant optimization issues. So I was trying to, use different guides online to see if I could get better performance out of this. This was pretty much as good as it got with the i5. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but there was a graphical glitch in the game, and that they happen pretty consistently, mostly close to the water though. Like it wasn't really while fighting any bosses or any enemies. It was like around watery areas. Besides that was the only time it happened while fighting an enemy, but in the water here it actually ended up happening. There you see it happen there. I pretty much just kept rolling around here trying to like force it to happen, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. I don't know if it's a Intel driver optimization issue or if my laptop is somehow dying. I mean, look at those temperatures. Those are not high temperatures at all. The CPU isn't like stressing itself to the point where it's dying, and like the like quote unquote overclock on it, it's pretty much just an extra 5 watts on top of its default. So I really don't think it's instability like that or anything like that. Like the laptop itself does just not run hot because it doesn't get enough power to run hot. So I don't know how it would really cause that other than it just being a graphical issue. But walking around in this area, you'll see that the performance isn't necessarily the worst thing. It could be a lot worse than this, but it definitely gets really bad depending on the type of boss that you're fighting. And you'll see, if you notice while fighting the dragon, sometimes in the sky there will be artifacts as well. Again, not 100% sure why it's happening here. It only really happens in this game and other ones that are just not properly supported for the i5 here, but it really mostly just happened in that specific area. And it reminds me a lot of the same issue that Dark Souls 3 had, where certain things would just glitch out. So I don't know if I would imagine that it's just something about the current gen, like drivers just don't properly support these games. But as you can see with the fight with this boss right here, the performance is not exactly the worst experience here. We're getting a 30 FPS average, but this was a misleading run here. I thought, oh, okay, the performance isn't bad actually. This might actually be performing better than the 5500U, but it's really just not. This was just this specific run here trying to fight this boss here that the performance was half decent. Every other one after this was really rough, and I'm guessing this just has to do with the fact that the game itself is kind of just not properly optimized, because we are getting lower averages than the 5500U, but the 1% lows are almost identical. So there is some limitation here because, I mean, we are using more RAM, but we're not maxing out the 16 gigabytes here, and it really doesn't seem like it's helping much at all. And you'll see in these other fights with this boss, the stutter comes back with a vengeance. It really makes it impossible to play through this. It's unplayable really. With 1% lows like that, with frame times like this, what ends up happening is you can't time rolls properly. You can't time attacks properly because the enemy will be in slow motion in 1 second, and then the next they're just going full ham on you. Like, look at that. How was I supposed to time the roll there, dude? I don't know how you would consider this a playable experience. Trying to do this boss fight felt like trying to break down a brick wall with your skull. It's just an insurmountable task, and at the end of it, you're just in pain. This was just a brutal overall experience. Like it's not playable. Like, I mean, look at that. We have frame time spikes that are almost at 100 milliseconds. That is ridiculous amounts of just input lag that's happening here. I pretty much just kept trying just to see if I could get another good run like that first one where the performance was actually not that bad. But no, that was just like a golden experience. If I hadn't clapped the boss then, I was never gonna do it. So overall, I would just say it's really not playable at these settings. I wish the game supported FSR. This is a game that really could have used FSR. I don't understand how you launch a brand new game and it doesn't have either DLSS or FSR. It's like the most easy W, with the amount of people that are still on really old GPUs. I don't know why you don't just add that feature in. Hopefully they add it in the future, but as it stands now, the game is just not going to be a playable experience. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe and of course join the Discord that's linked down below. I will see you guys next time.